All right, welcome back, Mount Vernon Elementary. I want to talk to you today about doing a push-up. A push-up seems like one of the most basic things that you can do if you want to build your upper body strength, or if you want to just exercise and you have really no space or no equipment to do it with. So what I want to talk about is the fact that yes, this is a simple movement, but it's also one that's really done incorrect in a lot of different ways. So the first thing I actually want to talk about with a push-up is your hips, okay? And when I think about my hips, there are different things that I can think about in order of how they're oriented, but I want to think about if my hips were a bowl of water, right? I would want to dump the water out of the back of my hips, okay? And what that's going to do is that's going to help to keep my core engaged as I go to do my push-up. All right, so if my hips were a bowl of water, I could dump it out the front or the back. I want to dump the water out of the back of my hips, okay? And then as I set up to brace on my push-up, I'm going to show you some of the different ways that you can modify the incline to make the push-up easier as you build into being able to do a standard push-up. So I have my hips with the water pouring out the back. The next thing I want to do is engage my shoulders the right way, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you on a banister. Here you could use a couch. You could really use a countertop in your kitchen. You better check with your parents before you do that one. But at the same point, everything should be good with the stability on a counter. So I'm gonna put my hands on, I'm going to tip my hips back, all right? And now as I go down, if I pull my shirt up here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to engage my elbow underneath, and that's going to help engage my lats as I go down in this modified push-up. So my hips are underneath, my elbow is underneath, turned underneath so that I'm almost trying to twist my hand out towards my pinky and bracing in my shoulders, and then I go down and up, down and up. And that would be the top part of the modification for a push-up. Next, we're gonna move on down to the ground. All right, so when modifying my push-up, I'm gonna go from the easiest version to the hardest version. So if we're starting with an incline, next I would move down and I would think about some of the same things. With my hips underneath me, I'm twisting my hands out towards my pinkies so that my elbows are going underneath. And the next modification I'm going to make would be, for a modified push-up, would be the negative only, or the eccentric only, the down portion of the movement. So all I'm going to do is do a 3-second down count. 1, 2, 3. And now instead of pushing back up, I'm going to rock back to my knees and go up and go another round. Down, up. 1, 2, 3, down, up. So that would be, as we're stepping up from incline, then we're going down to a negative or an eccentric movement only. Now we're gonna go knees down for a version 2 of our modified push-up, or version 3, sorry, of our modified push-up. Remember, my hips are underneath me, elbows underneath, turning my hands out towards my pinkies to engage my lats, make sure I have good shoulder stability, and now I go down and up, down and up. With the knees down, it's seen to be a lot easier than a standard push-up, and I would say the degree that it actually changes is probably only about 10%. It's seen as a modified or an easier way to do it. But I actually think that getting the full range of motion with the incline, if you can't do more than 5 on the modified, is going to pay you bigger dividends in the long term. All right, and our final would be a standard push-up. With the standard push-up, the only thing that I want touching the ground are my toes and my hands. So I engage my hands first, okay? So I engage my hands, I turn my elbow in so that I'm engaging my lats, right? Everything's pinching down as if there's a bar in front of me that I'm trying to bend, right? So I want to bend that bar down, and now I just place my hands on the ground like I'm bend that bar down, feet out, hips under, down, up. And if you feel like you're kind of caught in between the modified with your knees down and the regular push-up, you can just do a negative standard push-up here to the knees and just do your slow count. 1, 2, 3. All right. Thanks, Mount Vernon Elementary students. We will see you next time, and we're going to learn how to do a squat.